Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from DOGE back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
What?
You raggedy bitch.
Jasmine Crockett and many of her colleagues are frauding the government. I've had my own thoughts on Miss Crockett and those of her ilk in past content, and sometimes I like to provide reminders. So here you go.
As a whole becomes a part, I strike to burn, and the flame returns.
President Trump says he likes the idea of giving some of the savings from DOGE back to Americans as kind of a dividend. Would you support that?
So no, we are not in the business of giving out money. And honestly, I don't know what $5,000 will do for you.
All right, Crockett, let's get this straight. We're not into giving out money, but wasn't you just campaigning for reparations? Nah, that can't be true. We're not into giving out money unless you're illegal, right? Nah, that can't be true neither.
That's true. That's true,
we're not into giving out money unless you're Ukraine, or unless you're one of these nations that has nothing to do with us, and we give them millions and millions and millions of dollars for voter awareness. Boy, you Democrats ain't just cooked, y'all burnt out. And you don't know what $5,000 can do for the average American? I'll tell you what, for some of the black women, that $5,000 will get them better lashes and a better wig than you got. So, money well spent.
How long are y'all gonna go hard for Jasmine Crockett? She's not for you. She's not for the people. She's putting on a show, and she's lining her pockets. If she actually really cared about the people, she would be going for more money. Instead of saying that the United States government isn't in the business of handing out money, even though they're giving it to men who sleep with other men in South Africa, even though they're giving it to Ukraine by the billions, even though 100 billion of that money is missing, even though they're giving it to all of these migrants who have come in and have not paid into this system at all, even though they're giving the money to, obviously, these lawmakers who are compounding their money exponentially by the year. Jasmine Crockett is saying that America is not in the business of giving money to its citizens. What?
Bullshit.
But she could be fighting for us to be getting more money. The argument could have been, instead of 20% of the savings going back to the American people, why is it not 50% of the savings going back to the American people?
That would be democratic.
Why is it not 70% of the savings going back to the American people? No, that was not her argument. She said, what can $5,000 do? And she said they're not in the business of giving us money. $5,000 could do a whole lot for a whole lot of people, actually. $5,000 could do a lot for me. I know that. That's helping somebody get out of credit card debt. That's 6 months of somebody's car payment. That's child care. That's groceries. That's repairs around the house.
Come on now.
That's healthcare, medical bills. $5,000 can actually be pretty life-changing for the average American. But Jasmine Crockett is not the average American, nor does she care about the average American. I don't know when y'all gonna pick that up.
If you were trying to conduct audits and figure out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is, I don't know why you would go to some tech. In fact, it was only techies that were sitting there at inauguration. We didn't have to come in and do forensic audits. In fact, he's...
Niggas eat shit.
Alright, before I get into my full commentaries, specifically relating to these TikTokers' comments, government efficiency, and how Jasmine Crockett and many of her colleagues are frauding the government, I've had my own thoughts on Miss Crockett and those of her ilk in past content, and sometimes I like to provide reminders. So here you go. Matt Clips. Jasmine Crockett is literally Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Benjamin Crump, whichever Negro you want to use that has made a career for themselves and a name for themselves off the plight of the black community. All complaining, never any solutions, all references to what happened rather than, what can happen with self to promote change. Keeping black people's feelings hostage, because you know what? If there's nobody to blame and real solutions manifest, these motherfuckers are out of a job. And Jasmine Crockett is a black female, who puts on the whole sister girl act while engaging in a debauchery, right? She looks the part. She's very relatable. That's why she thinks she can address an entire committee as child.
Because for a community of women, we'll say like Angela Rye, the argument is won no matter how illogical the point. That's as long as the point is said in an unbothered yet articulate way, of course, with the shade coming behind it. Representative of the Kamala voter that refuses to be blinded by fact, rejects being bounded by their lying eyes. Representative of the only group of women that believe they should be the leaders and decision makers of a community in a world ran by other men. Ironically, this is because they find success to be how far they get in a system ran by other men. 9 to 5, college degrees, etc.
And shout out to the TikTokers for calling the obvious bullshit. What are families who are struggling to afford eggs gonna do with a $5,000 kickback going to them? I don't know, Jasmine. They seem pretty happy with 1,400 Democrats hated Trump taking credit for, that they constantly and still rebut with the Democratic Congress should have gotten credit. Look, I mean, some people got 2 or 3 of them checks and shit still didn't add up to 5,000. But look, before we get out of here, let's take a look at this chart that flashed a bit in the beginning. Jasmine Crockett's salary is $174,000. How the is her net worth $9 million? Well, actually, let me ask that in a different tone and we'll speculate. How the is her net worth $9 million? Mother kickbacks. And if she has investments in stocks, which they all do, there's some insider trading going on. Elon and Trump are taking fraudulent money out of her pockets and she's pissed. But what do I know? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Like, subscribe if you like the content. Hit the notification bell. And with that said, hopefully you've been entertained and informed while passing this precious time that we have. And hopefully I've earned your sub. I go by the name of Mac. This has been Doing It for GP. Till next time.
You can't treat him like any of the other niggas around here because he ain't like any of the other niggas around here.
Never did me, I spit the truth. Call you aware, fear-driven niggas get the boot. All of you squares couldn't fit up in my circle. All of us red and will hurt you severe. Slow your roll, nigga, patience is a virtue.